Good morning, future changemakers and trailblazers. Today we're diving into a subject that gets hearts racing, palms sweaty, and let's be honest, can lead to sleepless nights. The topic is risk-taking, a magical ingredient that separates the dreamers from the doers and the legends from the spectators. Now don't get me wrong, when I say take risks, I'm not saying you should jump off cliffs or challenge a lion to an arm wrestling match. Risk-taking is not about reckless abandon. It's about boldness, strategy, and trusting yourself enough to step into the unknown. Let's break this down in a way that's not only educational, but also fun, because life's too short to be serious all the time. Ready? Let's go. Before we talk about why and how to take risks, let's address the elephant in the room, fear. Fear is like that one friend who never leaves your side. The one who says, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Or, "What if it goes wrong?" Fear is your brain's way of protecting you, but sometimes it goes overboard like a helicopter parent at your first sleepover. Here's the secret. Fear isn't your enemy. Fear is your compass. If something scares you, it's often a sign that it's worth doing. Remember your first time riding a bike without training wheels? Your heart was pounding, your palms were sweating, and you were convinced you'd either crash into a tree or end up on YouTube as the star of Funniest Fails. But what happened? You took the risk, and soon enough, you were zooming around like a mini Lance Armstrong minus the scandals. Let's talk about the danger of not taking risks. Playing it safe feels comfortable, doesn't it? Like staying in your warm bed on a cold Monday morning. But guess what? Comfort zones are like quicksand. The longer you stay, the harder it becomes to get out. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. Did they play it safe? Elon Musk risked his fortune multiple times for Tesla, SpaceX, and Solar City. Oprah Winfrey took a risk by launching her own production company when everyone told her it was a bad idea. Jack Ma failed college entrance exams, got rejected from dozens of jobs, and yet risked everything to create Alibaba. If these people had chosen comfort over courage, we wouldn't have electric cars, inspiring TV shows, or global e-commerce giants. Playing it safe might keep you alive, but it won't make you feel alive. Imagine if the chicken decided not to cross the road. What would we joke about at parties? The moral of the story: don't be the chicken that stayed on the wrong side of the road. Here's a truth that might surprise you. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to it. Every time you fail, you learn something valuable. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Think about that level of optimism. While most of us would have quit at way number 10, Edison kept going. Picture this. You're baking a cake for the first time. You misread the recipe, add 2 cups of salt instead of sugar, and end up with something that tastes like sadness and regret. Is it a failure? Sure, but now you know not to trust your eyeballing skills. That knowledge is priceless. You, my young friends, are in the prime of your risk-taking years. You have energy, creativity, and most importantly, time. Taking risks when you're young is like playing a video game with extra lives. If you mess up, you have the time to recover, learn, and try again. Plus, let's be real, if you embarrass yourself now, people will just say, they're young, it's part of growing up. But if you're 70 and trying to become a TikTok influencer by doing backflips, well, let's just say people might worry about you. Let's get into the how-to of risk-taking. Because while motivational speeches are great, actionable steps are even better. Start small. You don't need to quit your job and move to Antarctica to be a risk-taker. Start with manageable challenges, like speaking up in class or trying a new hobby. Funny example. If your idea of risk is trying pineapple on pizza, congratulations. You're already a daredevil. Prepare for the worst. Before taking a risk, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? If the worst case scenario is manageable, go for it. If the worst case scenario involves jail time, maybe rethink it. Surround yourself with supportive people. Find friends who encourage you to dream big and take chances. Avoid the negative Nancys who say, that's impossible. Remember, impossible is just, I'm possible, with a little rearranging. Celebrate your wins. Every time you take a risk, celebrate it even if it doesn't work out. Why? Because you were brave enough to try, and that's a win in itself. A gentle melancholy weighed on her heart. woven from memories of a time when laughter echoed through these very meadows. Let me tell you a story about a young girl named Amina. Amina had a dream of starting her own fashion business, but she was terrified. What if no one liked her designs? What if she failed? One day she took a small risk. She designed a few dresses and posted them on Instagram. To her surprise, people loved them. Encouraged by this, she took a bigger risk. She started selling her designs at a local market. Today, Amina runs a successful fashion brand, and her designs are worn by people all over the world. The moral of the story? The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the courage to take that first step. Now let's lighten the mood. Risk-taking isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it's downright hilarious. I once decided to learn how to skateboard because, hey, life's about taking risks, right? Let's just say the skateboard had other plans. I spent more time on the ground than on the board. But you know what? It was one of the best experiences of my life because I laughed, I learned, and I realized that some risks are worth taking just for the fun of it. Here's the most beautiful thing about taking risks. It doesn't just change your life, it inspires others. When people see you being bold, they think, if they can do it, so can I. Imagine a world where everyone played it safe. No explorers, no inventors, no leaders. Now imagine a world where everyone took just one bold risk. The possibilities are endless. One of the most misunderstood aspects of risk-taking is the idea that risks always lead to immediate rewards. Let me clarify something. Risk-taking is not about getting instant gratification. It's about planting seeds and trusting that with time, effort, and persistence, those seeds will grow into something incredible. When you invest in yourself, whether it's starting a business, learning a new skill, or even traveling to a place where you don't speak the language, you might not see the benefits right away. But over time, the lessons and connections you make can shape your future in ways you never imagined. It's like planting an avocado tree. You plant it today, water it tomorrow, and then nothing. For months, even years, it feels like nothing is happening. But one day, you wake up to find your tree loaded with avocados, and suddenly, you're the most popular person at guacamole parties. When you're a risk taker, you start saying yes to opportunities more often. And with every yes, you open doors to experiences you never thought possible. Say yes to volunteering for a project at work, even if it's outside your comfort zone. You might discover a hidden talent or get noticed by someone who can help you grow. Of course, don't say yes to everything. If someone asks, would you like to wrestle an alligator? That's probably a good time to say no. Finally, let's talk about the ultimate reward of risk-taking. Turning your dreams into reality. Every great achievement started as an idea, a tiny spark in someone's mind. The only difference between a dream and reality is the action you take. You're not here to live a small, safe life. You're here to make waves, break barriers, and leave your mark on the world. So dream big, take risks, and trust the process. And remember, even if you trip and fall along the way, you're still moving forward, just with a little more flair. As we wrap up, I want you to remember this. Life is short, but the legacy you leave behind can be long. Don't let fear dictate your story. Be the author of your own adventure. Take that leap, make that call, write that book, start that business, be a risk taker. Final funny note, and if anyone ever tells you, why take risks, it's too dangerous, just smile and say, well, even the chicken crossed the road, why shouldn't I? Now go out there, take risks, and create a life so extraordinary that it becomes the stuff of legends. You've got this.